Most people are learning the wrong way, stuck in a endless loop of tutorial, recycled tips, and eventually they just give up. But you don't have to be most people. By using how the brain actually learns and tapping into science-backed techniques, you can master any skills way faster than average. In this video we're going to break them one by one. Let's go. When you get curious about learning something new, here's the typical routine. You sit comfortably, open your laptop, start watching tutorials or lectures, maybe grab a book or listen to a podcast, and your brain goes, yeah, this sounds easy, I got it. But then, when it's time to apply what you learn, blank, total brain freeze. Why does this happen? That's because passive learning feels productive, but it's just an illusion. Real growth happens when you struggle, pushing yourself, and fail. Yeah, fail. You have to mess up in order to learn. Anyone who says you need to do it all perfectly to learn, they are just totally wrong. This is called the cerebral difficulty. When learning feels hard, your brain actually starts working and processing. That's when real growth kicks in. One of my favorite techniques ever, seriously, this can change the way you study forever, is active recall. Here is how it works. When you finish reading a page, don't just flip to the next one. Look away, close the book, and ask yourself, what was this page really trying to say? You don't need to recall every word, just summarize it in your own way, like you are explaining it to a friend. Why does this work so well? Because you are switching from passive, just reading, to active learning. And when your brain has to think, it starts actually remembering. Examples: learning guitar, learning a chord, then look away and try to play it from memory. If you mess it up, perfect, your brain's getting stronger. Going to the gym, instead of doing 3 sets on autopilot hoping your muscle will magically grow, ask yourself, which muscle I'm activating right now? Can I actually feel it working? Is my movement controlled, or I'm just throwing weights around? And no, it's not just me saying this. Science proved the efficiency of active recall in significantly boosting memory retention and test performance when compared to passive rereading and highlighting notes. Incorporating active recall into your study methodology has the potential to maximize your learning efficiency and ace those passing exams. So seriously, stop reading your note 10 times like a robot. Pause. Reflect, try to remember. That's where the real learning happens. The brain doesn't like boring lists or abstract concepts, but it loves vivid images, familiar places, and emotional stories. This is where memory places come in, a technique used by ancient Greek creators and modern-day memory champions. Here is how it works. First of all, after reading a paragraph and doing active recall, because you must have an idea of that page, try to link what you have learned to an image. If you skip this step, it will be much more difficult. Now, that image should be weird or unusual, because the brain remembers things that stand out. Then, place that image inside a familiar place, like your room. To understand this better, let me give you an example. Take a place you know by heart. Your house, your bedroom, any space that comes naturally to mind. Now, build a little crazy story inside it. Let's try together. You have to remember these 3 words: lemon, fish, and telephone. Now imagine this. You walk into your room, and as soon as you open the door, you slip on a giant lemon splattered on the floor. You get up all sticky. As you stand up, a huge bird dressed like a postman suddenly pops out from under the bed and walks up to you, handing you a box. You open the box and inside there is an old telephone, but as soon as you touch it, it starts yelling at you like it's alive, telling you to call your grandma back. 3 words, 1 scene, impossible to forget. That's the trick. Visual images, familiar location, and a dash of weirdness. You can use it to memorize lists, speeches, exams, languages, and honestly, it's pretty fun to build. Alright, now that we nailed text comprehension, let's put it into action. But real talk, people always fall into I gotta know everything before I start trap. It's like they are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect vibes. Spoiler alert, that moment never show up. Here's the truth, you gotta dive in. Start with wherever you know, even if it's next to nothing. Do the thing, mess up, tweak your approach, and repeat. That's how you really learn, not by reading the same book 1,000 times or binge watching 10 courses. You don't need every chess strategy memorized to sit at a chessboard. You make a move, take an L, figure out where you slipped up, then come back and winning. That's how you grow, by doing, by failing, by leveling up, not by waiting to feel ready. Would you rather climb Everest with a bunch of amateurs, or with a team of expert climbers who have already been there multiple times? Exactly, the answer is obvious, but apply that in real life. Not so easy. When you want to learn something serious, your environment matters more than your motivation. Imagine you are the smartest person in the room. Who are you going to learn from? No one, which means you are in the wrong room. But if you switch rooms and find yourself surrounded by people who are smarter than you, they don't just guide you, they level you up without even trying. Being around them gives you access to direct and focused feedback. They point out things you had never noticed on your own, aka blind spots, field-tested lessons. They have made mistakes, failed, learned, and now they hand it all to you in the fast lane. A new language. You will start thinking like them, speaking like them, acting like them. One of the best parts of being around people smarter than you is the positive pressure. When you are surrounded by people who are sharper, further ahead, tougher, you don't want to let them down. You wake up earlier, work harder, train with more focus, because something inside you say, I need to keep up. It will be uncomfortable at first, for sure. You will feel inferior, maybe even frustrated. But right there, in that discomfort, you are growing way faster than you realized. So yeah, these are the methods that can help you learn faster and smarter. Now it's on you to actually put them into practice. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comment, and share it with someone who needs this. If you haven't yet, go watch my last video, where I talk about how to find your purpose in life. You don't wanna miss it.